Hey guys, and welcome to August 2020 Energetic Insights. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Deepika Mystery, and for almost a year now, I have been sharing these energetic insights on a month-by-month basis. And it's really geared up for those of you guys that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. If that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So, how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? And how have your dreams been? I know a number of you really were having some really crazy, wild and vivid dreams in July and before, and I know some of you are still having them. So if you're still struggling with your dreams or you're finding that you're not sleeping well, check out the Dream Diaries deep dive. There's some more information about what you might be experiencing in your dreams and why you might be experiencing what you're experiencing. So do go ahead and check that out, and I'll include a link with this video below. So let's do a quick recap on July, because I feel that the first theme for July was about starting over, and that was very much linked to the first theme of June, which was shaking things up. And as I mentioned before, those two are like in a cyclical processes. They kind of go from one hand to the other hand to one hand to the other hand. So if you don't know what that is about, I do encourage you to go back and watch June and July, because I feel that that cyclical process is expanding a little bit more in August. So, and I will touch upon some of that in one of the themes this month as well. So do go and check that out. Also, many of you guys had experienced emotional overload, and I feel that that is still going to be moving forward into August, but on a different scale. So I think it's going to be even more for some of you guys. So that the need for quiet space, for some quiet time is going to be really important going forward. So, and also make sure that you are looking after yourself and you have your self-care practices in place for the month of August, because it's going to be an intense ride. So without a further ado, let's move on and move into August. So before I go into the themes for August, one of the main things that I saw, and the key thing to kind of remember, is that there is this undercurrent driving force of energy of creating more peace, harmony and love. So whatever is happening for you in August, whether you are caught in the chaos of the energies of August, all I ask you to remember is that all of this, there is an undercurrent of peace, harmony and love, and that is what's been driving it. And sometimes what you'll see throughout the themes is sometimes we need to see what we're hiding, see the chaos and stuff that we're hiding before we can actually release it. So you'll see that, but just know that it's coming from a place of peace, harmony and love, and that's what it's aiming to kind of create, although it's not going to feel like that in August. Okay, so let's move on into the first theme for August. This is one of my favorites because there's so many different levels to this. So the first theme I got for August, I called it defensive triggers. And so many of you guys are going to find yourself feeling very triggered, very defensive. And you're going to be potentially stuck in this another cyclical pattern where there are 3 different states in this. So basically what's going to be happening is that we're going to be triggered, and I'll explain why, what some of the reasons of why we might be being triggered. But there's going to be like 3 different states that we're going to kind of move through. So a state where we are defending ourselves. So we know that when we're in the state of defending ourselves, we are aware of something that has been triggered within us, right? But what's happening is our protection mechanism is kicking in. And we're defending something that we may potentially know, but somewhat don't know. So that is one of the first states that you might find yourself in. The second state you might find yourself in is a state of projection. So in this stage, you're generally likely to be in a state of denial as well. not being completely aware or being completely unaware of what is actually has triggered you. So what you're ending up doing is projecting whatever has been triggered within you onto somebody else and not taking responsibility for it. And often when you're in this state, you might find that someone reflects that back to you, and that may then cause you to be defensive. So just know that these are the states that you might be in. And so the final state I got is one of attack. So generally what happens is that when something has been triggered within us that makes us feel exposed, makes us feel vulnerable, really reveals something to us about ourselves that we've hidden, we shame, we don't want to see, we're going to go and attack. So, and on this attack, we're going to start to be in this fight or flight mode just to prove ourselves that we're right and the other person is wrong. But it's all working. The best way I can explain it without swearing, it's working all our crap out for us. It's actually helping us, although it's not going to feel great. It's actually helping us because it's trying to help us to work through our crap that's within us and to really acknowledge what actually is going on us. So what this is going to start to reveal to us is some of our really hidden, buried old wounds. And even if we are aware of it, remember things are in different layers. So even if you know that you've got a trauma or a wound, just allow yourself to see it again in a new light. Okay, because what this is trying to do is trying to get it's looking to be released so that it can be healed on another level. Another part of what's going to be triggered is many of us are still operating from a very, very old societal belief system, and it's time, and that is actually crumbling at the moment. So for many of us, that is really, really shocking to our system. It's really shocking to our brain because we've always operated on that on a default. But try and remember that there is what's happening here is that it's creating brand new space so that we can start to operate and think in a different way and look at things differently. So just allow that to happen. And to be honest, for many of us, it's not. We're gonna probably drop into this space where we don't feel safe or secure. So I will come back to that point in a minute because I've got some tools there that will help you to navigate your way through that. The other thing that this cyclical pattern is going to reveal to us is our own truth. So when we are not or have not been in alignment with our truth, but we've actually told ourselves we're speaking our truth, we're in alignment with our truth, what this is going to do is show us where we're not in alignment with our truth. And for many of us, even those of us that are already consciously aware, we're going to experience this, and it's going to potentially shock our nervous system a little bit, and we might find ourselves in a tailspin. So all of these things that I'm saying to you is to help you to recognize if you've fallen into it, to know that basically what's happening is that your defensive triggers have been activated. So then you then know what you need to do with them. And finally, the reason why we might go into this defense, projection, attack mode is that our life foundation is being shaken up. So, and what that is requiring us to do is to find new footing, to find new grounding, and to really rebalance ourselves. And because it's all happening in one go, that's why it kind of feels very, very chaotic. So making sure that you ground yourself is going to be really, really key. So one of the tools that I feel that is going to help you with this theme is that you take a moment to recognize when you're either projecting, you're being defensive, or when you're attacking, right? And allow yourself to bring in some compassion, love, and kindness into that space. And just remember that this is happening because there's an undercurrent of peace, harmony, and love. And also you are expanding your level of self-awareness. This wouldn't happen if you didn't have that level of a self-awareness. And you are also aligning to your truth. So all of these things that are happening for the greater good, although it does not feel like that. So here's a question, here's a tool that you can use, and just sit with it and ask yourself, what makes me feel safe? What makes me feel safe? What makes me feel secure, right? And see what you get, right? And then also ask yourself, What do I think makes me feel safe? And what do I think makes me feel secure? And see how those responses match up to the other questions' responses. And then you might find yourself going back and asking yourself, so what does really make me feel safe? So explore that, because I think the more you understand that, the more you understand yourself, the more you're going to be able to manage yourself as you go through these chaotic times in August. So let's move on to the next theme. So the next theme is called conscious creation. And what this is really about is really getting us to look and to raise our level of self-awareness, to raise our vibration, but also really take responsibility to consciously create our new reality, our future reality. So many of us at the moment are unconsciously creating, and we're unconsciously creating from a place of fear, a place of lack, a place of control, a place of denial, a place of dark energies, a place of false sense of truth. So what this energy is about in August is really an opportunity for us to really raise our level of self-awareness. And I've got some tools that will help you to do this, and take more responsibility and be more conscious and consciously create from a place of love, trust, acceptance, truth, abundance, and light. So that is one of the key things in there. And also to be mindful in this when we are consciously creating, because many of us have this habit, and I know I have had this habit, and I know a number of my friends have this habit, is that we have this habit of projecting our past or even our past lives onto our future life or our future self. And what this is doing is this keeping us trapped in old programming. So if you are one of those people that has this tendency to project your past or your past lives into your future, just because it makes you feel safe, catch yourself. And then ask yourself why you're doing that and what can you actually do about that? Because that is just going to keep you trapped in the old, and it won't help you to move into the new. So here's the thing, here's a key thing for this theme. It's really about consciously creating in the present moment. And it's about raising your level of self-awareness. So here are some questions that you can sit with, and you can maybe ask yourself on a day-to-day basis, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the evening, but I really do encourage you to sit with these questions just so that you can explore, and these questions will help you to raise your level of self-awareness within yourself. So the first question is, what are you creating? And then you can change this question to say, what are you creating consciously? What are you creating unconsciously? So those are the three questions that you can sit with in the first instance to see what it is that you're consciously and unconsciously creating. And I say that the unconsciously creating aspect is going to be quite huge, right? And then sit and ask yourself, where are you creating from? So the next question is to sit with is, where are you creating from? Are you creating from a place of love or fear? Trust or control? Abundance or lack? Acceptance or denial? From truth or a false sense of truth? From light, from dark, and so on and so forth. So really sit with and ask yourself, where are you creating from? And then just to understand this a little bit more is, why are you creating what you're creating? So this is going to help unravel and reveal some of the underlying secondary benefits. So if you find yourself that you're unconsciously creating X, but actually you don't want X and you want Y, this question is really going to help you to really unravel and reveal what is really behind that. And then finally sit with the question, is what you're creating in alignment with what you desire? Is what you're creating in alignment with what you truly desire? So see how that goes and have fun with it. That is the main thing. Don't beat yourself up. Just give yourself that permission to explore and get to know yourself better, because unless unless we get to know ourselves better and continually evolve in that space, it's going to be really, really difficult for us to create anew, because we need to understand where we are at the moment and be really honest with ourselves in terms of, you know what, this is where I am at the moment. Yes, I've been here for the last 5 years. Yes, I've been here for the last 10 years. But you know what, I'm owning this. This is where I am right now. And I'm done with being in this place, and I'm ready to move on and create anew. And that is how we change. When we are denying it to ourselves and kind of saying, oh, I used to be there and I used to be like that, but I'm no longer like this. But at the same time, you're finding that you're not things in your life that you want, you say that you've done and you know that you've done, as not coming to you, then you're still probably stuck a little bit in the past. So I hope that makes sense. So the key message I'm trying to get is be real and be honest with yourself, because that is what's really going to help you. Okay, let's move on to the third theme. So this third theme is really interesting, and it comes across in two different ways. I'm going to call it expansion of light, but there's a dance between the light and the dark. So as I mentioned in June, in June, the first theme was about shaking things up. So when things get shaken up, very much like an earthquake, cracks start to appear. And then when the cracks start to appear, you start to see underneath the surface of the road and what's actually underlying underneath it all. What's happening here is, because there's new light that's hitting the earth at the moment, is that it's really, really shining a bright, bright light down through the cracks, so that a lot of our darkness is becoming a lot more visible. And to be honest, when our darkness becomes visible, our natural reaction is go down on shutdown mode and just close the light and switch off the light and just ignore. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about this theme. The key thing about this theme is making sure that you stand strong in your light, because that is what is really going to help you. And yes, it's going to feel freaking uncomfortable, and it's going to make you want to itch and get out of your skin, but stay with me and stay with it and trust yourself that you can hold this light. And you know what? You can work with your darkness. And the more that, I think a lot of us, we're so used to hiding parts of ourselves that we don't like, the shadow aspects, the things that ourselves that we shame, and then we project this, Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect persona, that when it comes to looking at our darkness, we almost just want to ignore it and turn a blind eye to it. And to be honest, that's not helpful for us. And those of us that have done it for many, many years, right now it's going to really shine a light on your darkness. So many of us are not going to be able to escape from it as much anymore. So the key thing here is to remember not to fight it, to remember that things are being shown to you because they're ready to be released, to be cleared, to be healed, and to bring in this newer, higher vibration. So be mindful, don't attack yourself, don't beat yourself up, and really stand strong in your light. And one other thing, those of you that are energy healers, intuitives, what you're going to find is that you're probably going to become more and more aware and conscious about the darker energies that are around you. And here's the thing, here's a little quick reminder, is that if you're experiencing that, be mindful of how you're feeling. Right? If you find yourself in fear, what you're going to do is going to attract more of it, or you're going to create more of that. So always remind yourself that that's why standing in your light is going to be so, so important, because when you are standing strong in your light, everything else will dissolve. Yes, it won't dissolve in an instant, but it will dissolve. So that's that bit for this theme for that month. And so the final theme, I hope that makes sense, by the way. If you do have any questions or any experiences that you're having with darker energies or your shadow aspects of yourself, feel free to comment below. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions that you might have. And then I just really wanted to finally touch on, I think this is something that is just going to be an ongoing theme for the rest of the months to come. And I'm seeing this a lot with myself, my clients, just generally, like all of our intuitive senses, energetic abilities is really, really expanding right now. So that's why we're seeing a lot more of the darkness, because we're also expanding. And sometimes we want to shrink because we don't want to see what we don't want to see, you know. And so it's easy just to stay in our comfort zone and just stay small. But it's this, at the moment, we are all being urged to expand our senses. So also some of you guys may be experiencing downloads. So downloads that might be coming in your sleep state, downloads that you might get through meditation, downloads when you're, I don't know, when you're working out or sitting and channeling. So you might find yourself doing more of that and getting messages from the universe, whether they're messages that you need to share with other people. You might be also getting light codes. And also many of us, the best way I can explain it, there are more guides, our own individual guides available to us. So it's worth spending some time connecting and sensing who are your new guides, who are the new light beings that are working around you. And I think a lot of this is going to be very, very relevant to those of you that are in the energy field, that are energy healers, intuitives, that work a lot with energy, or coaches. And even though if you're not in that field and you're someone that has this natural urge to help humanity and want to create positive change and have this soul, you can feel this soul mission of really moving humanity forward and making a difference in the world. If you relate to that, then you are also going to start to experience your intuitive senses expanding, your energetic senses expanding, and you'll also be receiving downloads, and you'll start to feel your guides. And if you're not sure about that, I really encourage you to work with a coach, an energy healer, an intuitive, just so that you can start to get a bit more familiar with that, because it's there for everyone. We're in this together and we're coming out of this together. So some of the tools that can help you here with this expansion. So generally when we expand, we have a tendency to contract. So just be mindful and beware of when you find yourself contracting, and ask yourself, am I contracting because I'm expanding at the moment? And also what you might feel is a sense of resistance, tension, conflict, heaviness, agitation. So if you're feeling any of those feelings, just sit with them, see where they come up in your body, and start to create a dialogue with them. And just say, where is that resistance coming from? Because the resistance might be from a fear of you really stepping in and using your abilities. You know, the tension could be because you're carrying some past burdens or something like that. So I urge you to really go into what you're feeling and create a dialogue with that sensation you're feeling, and see where in your body is coming up. Have a look to see if there's any colors, any movement, is it cold, is it warm, and just see what really comes up there for you. Okay, so I really, really hope that you have enjoyed this energetic insights, and I want to leave you with two things actually. One, I'm going to do a quick grounding exercise with you. And before I go into the grounding exercise, I just want to let you know that I am running the August Energetic Alignment Series. So those of you guys know and have been following me, this is my guided visualization meditation series, it's really about energy healing and clearing and helping you to connect with your innate wisdom. So if you're interested in that, it's taking place on the 9th, the 16th and the 23rd of August, and that's taking place at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. EST, 10 a.m. PST. And the other thing I wanted to let you know is that I have just relaunched my one-to-one client sessions, and I'm super, super excited because it's all online now. And I have 4 new ways in which you can work with me. Before there was only 1. So now there's 4 different ways in which you can work with me. And so go ahead and check that out. There is a special at the moment running until the 15th of August. And you can find more information about that at anumi.com/private. So if you're still here with me and you're ready to do a quick little guided grounding meditation, then just ask you to get really comfortable, find somewhere where you're sitting, and hit pause if you're not somewhere comfortable. Make sure that you're either sitting or lying down, and just allow yourself to relax. And just take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to connect with your breath, and allowing each inhale to fill you with love, light, and compassion. And as you exhale, allow yourself to free yourself from everything and anything you no longer need to hold on to. Just let it all go. And when you take your next deep inhale breath in, bring in more love and kindness. And as you exhale, allow your mind, your body, just to fully and completely relax. And just breathe, allowing each inhale to fill you with love, light, and compassion, and each exhale to help you relax that little bit more, letting go of everything and anything you no longer need to hold on to. Now just want you to imagine that there is a beautiful tree ahead of you. I want you to walk towards the tree and sit against the tree trunk, allowing your back to rest gently against the tree trunk. And as you take a deep breath in, you allow yourself to sink in and relax into that tree a little bit more. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to fully surrender into the tree. And just breathe. Now imagine the arms, the branches of the tree coming round you in a beautiful warm embrace and hugging you, filling you with love, kindness, and this beautiful nurturing warmth. And just become aware of the soles of your feet and the roots of the tree. And allow the roots of the tree to move up into the soles of your feet, going up into your ankles, your legs, your belly, and up into your chest. And just hold the roots of the tree inside your chest and breathe. And as you breathe in and out, allow yourself to relax and surrender into that tree a little bit more. And then when you're ready, just allow yourself to come back into the space, back into your body, fully grounded and fully aware of your body. Thank you for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed this meditation. And if you did, please do and come and join us for the August Energetic Alignment Series. All right, bye for now.